Welcome to Third Shot Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us for another great episode. If you haven't already done so, please give us a follow on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Third Shot Podcast, or on Twitter/X at Third Shot Pod. We also have a website at thirdshotpodcast.com where you can check us out. We even have merchandise on there now, so go take a look and see if you can find something you like.
I know you'll find something. And for the people watching right now, is it weird that we are in the
I know, we get to cheers together.
I know, it's like you guys are together. I'm just over here.
I asked Uncle to stuff you in the suitcase.
All right, this will make me feel better.
There we go. Yeah.
Cheers.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Jack.
Nice. All right.
I think it's funny that people actually come to me and they'll go, "Are you guys really drinking?" I'm going, Yes, I am.
Now, maybe we should start using mini bottles or something so that they know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we need a sponsor for that. Like, wouldn't that sound great right there? Like, we're doing a shot sponsored by your company.
Yeah.
Insert your name. Happen. Company, contact us.
Exactly. Make it happen.
So the reason why we're
together, yeah. Tell us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We are going to be playing in another tournament together this weekend, and it's a big one. It's a PPA tournament, or part of their tour here in Las Vegas. We are super excited.
I'm pumped. Nice.
We've already gone out to the course to practice.
Very cool.
We had a very good session last night.
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
We went deep, long. I don't know how many hours we were playing, but we were rotating in. We were playing against men's teams and
mixed and everything.
It was pretty tough competition last night, so I think we're ready.
You're warmed up. You're ready. Yeah, I like it.
And it was super exciting too because Uncle Greg's partner Greg, who he'll be playing men's doubles with, he just drove into town. Literally, probably dropped his wife off at the hotel.
He opened the door.
Yeah, I think, and was like, "Jesus, I'll be right back. I got something to do." Came straight to the courts to meet us, and so we all got to kind of mix it up and play with one another. And
very cool.
The Gregs were looking good.
Nice.
Even Greg and Greg.
Nice. Well, the Gregs did great in the last tournament, so I would expect nothing less.
Shout out to Greg. It was good times. I mean, literally, he drove like 10 hours from Colorado just to get in town in time for us to have a practice session last night. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Greg, you make that sound tough, but you flew Southwest. So, I mean, it's just as bad.
That was a rough time getting here.
Yeah,
we're surprised you made it. Actually,
probably not be sponsoring us, or sponsor us
because better flight benefits. I don't know.
Maybe. So yeah, it was a little rough. It probably Greg's trip might have been shorter than mine. I don't know.
Should have drove.
Wow. Oh man, yeah, it's rough. It's funny how you would think getting into Vegas is easy. But not just with Southwest, like with other airlines, I've had issues where I've had to sit. I sat on the Las Vegas tarmac the last time I was out there for 3 hours, just sitting in a plane. It's like, are you kidding me? Really? Yeah, wow. It's not an easy airport to get in and out of sometimes. But
my daughter
then you're in Vegas, so it's all good.
Yeah, my daughter took a different airline down here a couple weeks ago, and she was delayed to the point where we were worried she was going to miss my other daughter's birthday party.
Oh, wow.
So, it's been a little sketchy trying to get to Vegas. I don't know why. I don't think Southwest or these other airlines really have problems to other places.
It's just Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Yeah, it's weird.
I can come up with some off the wall theory. Maybe it's like all these hungover people having too much fun in Vegas. It's hard to get them on the flight.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Calling them, they're running late.
Right. Are you talking about the passengers or the pilots?
Yes.
Oh man. Well, glad you made it down there. I'm excited too. Like, so we're gonna do a little, and by the time this runs, this will already have happened, but we got some live stream stuff happening during the tournament, and we've done that before. We'll do it again. I think that'll be a lot of fun. The recordings for that, though, if you're listening to this now, if you on our YouTube channel, you can. I know, right? This is crazy.
This is like Terminator. Like
yeah, exactly. So what you do is you turn on the flex capacitor and you go to YouTube, and you can actually see some of our past live recordings. So you'd be able to see the live recordings that we did. So you're not missing out. But the best thing to do is to follow the show, hit the little notification thing. And if we ever do a live stream again, which I'm sure we will, you'll get notified and you'll be able to participate and ask some questions and figure out whatever Greg is drinking and how Bridgie's playing. And, you know, if I showed up on time, because I was a little late today.
Actually, that brings up a question, Russ. So if we're live streaming and Bridgie and I are playing and people are commenting, are you replying to the comments like live?
I'll try. We'll see what happens. We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I don't know. This is all new stuff to us. We did that little test, you know, the little tester run that we did. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
We'll see if I can. And if I don't know the answers, I'll just make them up. So we'll be fine. Improv skills. Come in and play.
I thought you were just going to chat GPT them.
Oh, actually, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
See what happens.
And his little bubble down there is going to change to chat GPT.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be my co-host. Oh man. Well, so because of all of this, and because both of you have to get to all you can eat sushi, I think I have something.
Don't give us away like that.
I know. No, that's how Greg preps. Like most athletes, they're hitting the gym, they're exercising, they're running. Greg is eating a crap load of rice and seaweed.
We gotta carb up for our matches.
Yeah, you're carving up. Okay. But because we did that, we actually pre-recorded the segment. So I'll just pretend that I don't know what's coming up, but what's coming up on our pre-recorded segment?
So that's interesting live as well, because we have pre-recorded the next two segments, and we talk about the tournament before we do the tournament. But even though you listen to this, it'll be after the tournament. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I took a shot. So here you go.
A paradox.
So coming up is Gregory Storm, the owner of Rain and Wind Pickleball, some of the fantastic paddles that he has. He's got some new stuff, very generous with his donations to a lot of different worthy organizations. So it's so nice to have Gregory Storm back because it's his second visit with us. So come on back and learn a little bit more about what he's doing with Rain and Wind Pickleball.
Welcome back to Third Shot. Thanks for hanging out during that quick little break. If you haven't already done so, please check us out on our social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, X, or used to be Twitter, formerly known as. And check us out, Third Shot Podcast, and on YouTube, watch the videos. We got some good interviews, and you like checking out our guests like our next one. A return guest, Gregory Storm, the founder of Rain and Wind Pickleball. Gregory, welcome back to the show.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good. We've been anxiously awaiting an update from you. But before we jump into it, we're going to do a quick shot. We're going to toast to Rain and Wind and having our friend Gregory back on, the other Greg.
Yeah, look at that bottle. That is a serious.
He is drinking.
So tell us what is that? What is that?
It's this AAW from tequila from Mexico. So someone gifted this to me. It's pure agave.
Ooh.
Go ahead, hit that. Oh yeah, now we're ready.
Almost like a mezcal. Wow, interesting.
Is that the first shot that you've taken from that bottle?
It is actually. It was so pretty. I just didn't want to open it, but I saved it for you guys. So
what a nice occasion. We're so lucky.
Right.
So aside from that really awesome liquor that you're drinking, you also have a really awesome shirt for those who are only listening. It's a Hong Kong Phooey pickleball shirt. And it's so cool. It's so fun.
It is branded with the rain and wind and everything with Hong Kong Phooey with the pickleball paddle. Duper.
It is. This is our raw paddle, Hong Kong Phooey. We've got our website on his hand. He's getting ready to serve the ball. I thought it was fun. I loved Hong Kong Phooey for a long time, so I thought, you know what? Why don't we just copyright something and change it around a little bit so it's not so bad.
So for the people that don't know Hong Kong Phooey, tell everybody what Hong Kong Phooey was.
Was it like probably the early 70s, right? Early 70s cartoon. Him and his cat used to go out and used to be a little a janitor guy, right? So then they were looking for a superhero in the police station, and he was the janitor in the police station, right? And he had the cat, and I think it was Penelope or the little intercom lady.
And he's a dog, right? He's a dog, and he was like really good at martial arts, right?
Of course, yeah. He would just jump into his janitor closet and change into the Hong Kong Phooey, and number one super guy would kick butt.
So Gregory, unbeknownst to you, when I was a little kid growing up in elementary school, I was like the only Asian kid in my school, right? Nobody. I grew up in a very non-Asian, non-ethnic neighborhood. So I was the only Asian kid. And Hong Kong Phooey was like the popular cartoon on Saturday mornings. So everybody would tease me. And instead of calling me by my name, they would just call me Hong Kong Phooey all the time.
That's funny.
And my last name is Louis. So it kind of rhymed with Phooey. So they go the Hong Kong Phooey Louis, right? That was me in like second grade.
Were you tough though? Or were you like a weakling?
Well, the thing is like, okay, I leaned in on this, right? So I go, yeah, I know martial arts. Don't mess with me. You're just gonna get it.
Yeah, that's a good deal, right? No, I just, I love all these old cartoons and just older TV shows and things like that. I mean, I'm always watching Tubi, nostalgia TV. I mean, Gilligan's Island. I mean, you name it, all those. Sanford and Son, all that kind of fun stuff, So why not put a little twist into it in the pickleball? Because it's always a pickleball theme somewhere, right? So
yeah, there has to be, yeah.
Kind of took the KISS Army logo, and we have the Raw Army now, so that's kind of new for us, So we're
that's a good look hat.
Everyone wants hats and things, and sometimes it's nice to do something different.
So I heard that I think it's the original keyboardist for KISS is really big into pickleball right now.
That's Gordon Gebert. He's my good buddy. Yep.
Oh, sure okay. So is he really into pickleball right now?
Oh yeah, he's got a paddle brand with a string and ball on it. That's kind of like a tool for you guys and to help people out. And we did a couple.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did a couple clinics together and stuff. He's a great dude. He was best friends with like Ace Frehley and stuff like that. He's written a couple books, and now he's the owner of the NPL league right now, which is kind of a fun thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fun thing for him. He's kind of exploding a little bit too, so it's nice.
Yeah. Well, what's been going on in your life? I mean, I'm following you on Instagram and your social media. It looks like you're traveling all over the place.
Yeah, just took gold in just last weekend here in Gainesville. I've been kind of doing a little bit of the smaller circuit because I just don't have time to, do these bigger events, and the hurry up and wait all day thing is just kind of not so fun anymore. I'd rather do, get 5 games in a round robin and then go into some finals, within 2 or 3 hours, be done, kind of thing. Otherwise, but yeah, I played with Rick Wiskin's sister.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone out there probably should have heard of Rick Wiskin by now. He's kind of a big guy on the senior tour. So his sister was definitely a strong player. So it was nice. Even it was a blind date, but we did great, and we just kind of ran through everything pretty nicely. So it was fun. A fun tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we've also heard too that you're starting to host tournaments as well and put them together. Is that right?
Yeah, so I've had the academy here in St. Pete for 3 years now. So yeah, I've been running tournaments all along, but I do a lot of stuff in Rochester, New York, because that's where my family is. So I've been kind of going up to a little bit to Rochester a little bit more, doing more stuff up there, and it's really starting to explode up there now because they're starting to get pickleball facilities, right? Because now it's starting to really blow up, and they've got 3 or 4 different indoor facilities coming up because it's snow up there. Their winters are terrible up there. So, but their summers are great, springs are nice. So I ran a nice 2 tournaments up there, and I'm going to do one here down in St. Pete December 3rd. So that's kind of another fun thing. Again, as I know from the last time we get back to NAMI mental health, so we're continuing to do that, which is nice.
So just so you know, my youngest daughter, she is a senior at UNLV, and she volunteers with NAMI.
Wow.
And she did her internship over the summer, and now she's doing an externship for NAMI. So
That's
near and
great.
dear to my heart, and taking care of the people, and bringing more mental health awareness out there to the public. So love that.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I think again, mentioned in what number were we on podcasts? We're like early on, right?
We were in December. I looked back, and
Yeah.
we had you on in
Maybe
December.
4, yeah.
Yeah, now you're like 101 or something. I don't know.
Hopefully that's my IQ. I wish my IQ was over 100. So.
It seemed like you had a counter on there, and I could see that we our podcast had the most views. So our downloads or whatever it was. So I was pretty excited about that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's nice to be back.
The cool thing about what you do, and I think what got a lot of popularity to the show, was you giving back to the bee community and just giving back in general. And I think that really resonated with a lot of people. I know we got a lot of feedback on that. Just tell us a little bit about kind of some of the things that you're doing, because I know you're still giving back to the bees, but you're also giving to other charities as well.
Yeah. We just another event in Rochester was a cancer event. They asked us to donate, and I said no problem. There's a little bit of competition up there with a couple local brands, but I thought, you know what, I'm local too. I'm from there, so why not? So they loved it. It's called CIS Cancer, SIS. It's breast cancer awareness. So everyone was stoked on that, for the raffle and things like that too. Just last night, we also did another big raffle type thing where it was a huge event for saving rescue animals, dogs, cats, things like that. So they some of the Tampa Bay Bucks and some professional wrestlers had this event last night. And the theme was Miami Vice, so it was pretty cool. Yeah. So, but again, we donated. I donated a lesson, some paddles. The Bucks play, pickleball, so it's kind of fun, just to see these 300-pound linebackers come in. Like, yeah, we play pickleball, So
who's the guy you sent me the picture of you standing next to? He dwarfed you. I mean, that guy was huge.
Yeah, that's Titus O'Neil. He's a WWE wrestler. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he had a very firm handshake.
I bet.
Yeah, but super nice guy. Kept coming over, and he was actually one of the judges there because they had some of the best. So there was like 20 Tampa Bay restaurants that were all competing for like a cook-off type thing. So they were trying to win the Super Bowl trophy of the best restaurant. So it was all kind of combined into the charity event. I think the biggest raffle or the biggest auction was like $7,000 for a couple to go to Disney World with one of the Bucks players and his wife. So I'm saying, okay, wow, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
But so those things are always popping up, happening. News crews are coming in. I was just on Live Strong magazine, contacted me just about pickleball warm-up procedures and just how, what should you do for that kind of thing. So definitely a lot of things have been approaching as well. we were going to run a tournament in Maui with Maui G Sports. And as you know, Lahaina, kind of burned up there. So we definitely canceled that. We were supposed to do that end of the month last month. So we'll try to revisit that at some point, because we do have the brand over there in Maui and in Big Island, and we're doing really well over there. So we're just kind of got those guys in prayer and stuff like that. So we do have our Aloha paddle, which is pretty cool. Supporting and giving back to some of the tournaments that are raising funds for those people in Maui.
Yeah, that's amazing. And as Uncle said, I think it's huge that you do what you do and you give back to the community in so many different ways, even aside from pickleball. So I'm kind of curious though, do you seek out these affiliations, or are you kind of like the guy that people go to if they are wanting to do something philanthropic?
You get a bunch of emails, and then you just weed them out sometimes. Everyone wants free paddle, so they're a sponsor or something like that. I don't even know what sponsorship is anymore, but yeah, I mean, I don't have to worry about that anymore, right? Because I got my own brand. So just pull the fresh out of the bag and go, or create whatever I want. There's definitely, for instance, I mean, just at this tournament last weekend, there was just there was a little dude there that a Filipino guy, and he was born with no arms and one leg. And I saw his story in Orlando because he lives in Orlando, and I said, "Hey, dude, are you that guy that was like on the news and played pickleball?" Oh, yeah. So he had a Selkirk shirt on and Selkirk bag and this and that. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sponsored by Selkirk." I was like, "Oh, so what do they do for you?" Kind of thing. So he's like, "Yeah, they gave me a couple paddles and a bag." I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "But I'm signed with them. I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, I'm going to give you a paddle." So I gave him one of the white paddles, and he's got a little strap he puts on half his arm and he plays pickleball. I was like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "You want to go hit?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Let's go." And this dude was like, "Awesome."
Really?
His name's Petey Bruce. Shout out Petey Bruce. But that kind of thing, it touches you a little bit, so, it's not about winning the gold medal, and I posted that out there, and it's more about kind of hanging out with this dude. And, we went up on the podium and took a picture together. I had my shirt off, big deal, but here in Florida, it's hot, we got done. I sucked out on men's dubs and then, hung out with little.
If you could do it, do it.
That's right. I think someone said Arizona barf, put your shirt on. I'm like, you're not focused on what I just. Oh my gosh. What I got a dude right here next to me with no arms and one leg, and you're looking at my boobs or something. It's like. I was like, dude, you got to cover up the Selkirk with the raw paddle, though, in the picture. So. Yeah. He was like, "No way, dude, you're gonna give me the paddle." So I'm like, that was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody needs to see me with my shirt off. Bridgie makes me save the Tata shirts with the pickleballs right over my Tatas.
Yeah,
so,
you can see it from the
everybody.
You need this Hong Kong.
Keeps everybody good.
I'll trade you a Hong Kong Fui for one of the their podcast sweaters.
There we go. Thank you.
You have to.
Yeah, love that.
Of course, your paddle came like 5 months later, right? But you got one.
We did, and they're great.
But we got to talk about, we did get the paddles, and we can't wait to talk about it. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's get into the awesome paddles you got going out there now.
Welcome back to Third Shot Podcast. Thanks so much for sticking with us through the break. We are back with Gregory Storm. He is the owner, designer, all of the things with Rain and Wind Pickleball.
Hey, and you forgot to reintroduce Hong Kong Fui's joining us too.
And Hong Kong Fui. And
also
Hong
known
Kong Fui
as Uncle
Louie.
Greg Louie. I wish I was drinking some of that tequila with Gregory, but I got my whiskey. Cheers.
Ooh, smells so good.
Cheers.
So before the break, we kind of started talking a little bit about paddles. Woo, felt good, huh?
You smell it?
I'll stall for a second so you can take a little chaser. Uh,
Quick.
you sent us some paddles, and man, like I'm playing the excluder.
Yeah,
That's
you got the white
yeah,
excluder.
that's
Yes,
right.
we got
Tell
that
everybody
beautiful
about
paddle.
that paddle because
Well,
it is sweet.
we've introduced some bees to the just the aesthetics to it, and that's kind of neat. It's kind of got this going on right now on the rim there.
Yeah,
But
so for people that aren't watching, he's got like on the rim of the paddles on the side, he's got some bee graphics going on. And because
yeah,
you give a portion of every sale to the bee community. I want everybody to remember that. I think that's
yeah,
awesome what you do.
absolutely, yeah. Pollinators Now is one of the big ones. We like those guys a lot because they support all pollinators too. So it's not just bees, but it's butterflies. It's anything that pollinates. That's a good one that I really like. And again, our local one here, Noble Apiaries, Noble Nectar Apiaries is our main one here in St. Pete that we like to support.
That's cool. So tell everybody about that paddle because the technology, there's something in that paddle that makes this thing special.
It's probably legal. It's probably white and illegal, Greg. I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of things about illegal white paddles, so I don't know. Not
So
sure.
what's the deal with the white paddle and the whole legal, non-legal? You gotta
I
get
think
me
it's
up to
somebody
speed on
trying to
this.
control the industry. I don't know. There's a lot of changes coming up, right? So I just think I know MLP has done that they've banned their white paddles there, but it's these big companies fighting maybe a little bit, over probably branding and players losing the ball within the white paddle. That's why I created it because I always lost the ball within the white paddle. Just kidding. But I just think it's something that maybe people always have something. If it's too much spin on the paddle, if it's some sort of manipulation with anything. I'm not sure about what the details are on that. But now it's noise compliance is what I'm hearing now. So I'm glad we've passed the noise compliancy testing, which is good for our brand because that's a big thing now with noise compliance. I think we mentioned that. We talked about that in the first podcast, I believe. So, but I'm glad you like that white paddle. I think you're going to play with that in the PPA this weekend, right? I heard.
Yeah, you better believe
Yes.
it. You better believe it. I'm gonna bring it out. Hopefully, I don't get kicked out. But yeah, I plan on playing it.
Yeah. What do you like about that paddle?
I like that it's the perfect blend for me of touch around the net. I think I have a lot of control dinking. I have a good feel for resets with that paddle. And when I
Yes.
want the power, it's effortless power, right? If I just, just give it a little bit, it's going to jump off that paddle. I just got to make sure I center it, right? Because that's the thing for me. I'm awful. I'm always peaking at where I'm supposed to hit it, and then I miss it, right? So if I just focus on hitting it solid, the ball just jumps off that paddle, and then, like I said, it has nice touch and nice feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
What about you,
powerful.
Yeah. What about you, Bridgie? Because you have it too.
Yeah, I do. And it, as Uncle said, it is a great paddle. Well, first of all, I got to mention the little bee at the bottom. You didn't show it, but on the end of the handle, there's a little bee. And I think it's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
But aside from how pretty the paddle is, it's got a lot of power and it's helped me with my serve because I've mentioned this before, but like I've got a consistent serve, but it's not as powerful as I want it to be. But I noticed that with that paddle, with a little bit of effort, I can get the power behind it that I'm wanting and a little bit of spin so that I can kind of switch it up instead of just giving them the same serve over and over again.
Yeah, it's got some nice grit on it, right?
It does,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bridgie serves. She gets a nice topspin on her serves, and a lot of people have a difficult time staying down on her serves. Like, they'll miss hit her returns. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. That's my touch paddle for me. That is actually my favorite paddle. For touch. There's no doubt about it. I do add a little bit of weight to that paddle, but it's usually down on the lower portion of it just to keep my sweet spot going. I mean, I don't know if you guys talked about different places to put weights on paddles and things in your prior podcast, but I do put a little bit down there. I don't need the head heaviness of it, because if you start putting that weight up here, then you're getting top heavy, and I don't think it needs that.
So you're putting a little weight down kind of on the bottom third of the paddle on both sides, and that's opening up your sweet spot?
Yeah, the sweet spot will stay as long as you're putting your weights kind of right in this area here.
Right at
And
the
this
kind
just
of
comes
the
from
elbow and the lower elbow.
Yeah, this just comes from a Zane Navatril trick that he showed us, a while back ago. You start getting up here and putting tape up here. Some people just put, it's like crazy. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like it's a little too much, And then you're like, well, feel this paddle. It's 9.5. I'm like, that's ridiculous,
That's a heavy paddle.
We start off with 7.8 to 8.0 on our paddles, so you can add weight to it,
So what's the difference between the white one and the raw excluder?
So now this guy out here is our new thermoform paddle. It's the Excluder Pro. We're super stoked on this. I've been loving this paddle, guys. This is, and I have an all black one too. But this thing is just super strong. Just that foam injection and the unibody. Everyone's kind of wanting to make stuff like this right now, but if you think about, like, I guess maybe the Carbon X3, I don't know if you guys know that paddle or not, but this is pretty similar to that. It's almost it's pretty strong. I'm really liking this, and it looks really clean, guys. This gold on there and that white is really tight.
And I'm not going to get kicked out of a tournament playing that paddle.
I certainly hope not. But you know what? If you think your serves are hard now, this guy is pretty. And this is the guy I've been going to right now.
Really?
Yeah, I have. But again, if I want to touch game, I've got to learn how to control this. That's the only problem with thermoform. If you start doing that, and you're up at the kitchen, you've really got to learn how to control that power on those thermoform paddles.
Is that a 16 millimeter paddle or 13?
It is 16. I know. I remember you're the power guy. We were talking about that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, right? You're the power guy. So,
yeah.
So
that's the paddle.
This is been pretty nice right now. This is kind of some of the newer stuff that we've been messing around with. So super happy with this guy.
So how much are those paddles running?
These are $199. We're still not in that 250 range like Yola and stuff like that. We're never gonna go that high. I know you guys have some bread and butter stuff out there, so I think their high end is like what, 160 or something like that. I don't remember what they are, but
I think their felt is their high end paddle right now, I believe, right?
Is that like 160 or something?
Yeah. I don't know actually what the price is. So
yeah, they're from Florida too. So but no, I'm liking that. These two guys, that white one and the Excluder Pros are been really super fun for us,
Do you have any of your Aloha paddles handy to show?
Yeah, so the Aloha paddle, we're definitely, this is kind of, we're going back to the bees on the side of that. This has been something that we've been working on for a while. It's our first graphic paddle, which I think is really nice because we kind of have that display with the hibiscus and stuff on there. Again, this is just, it's a different shape than that Excluder because it's in the Hive family. So it's got a little bit of an elongated handle here. So, but this has been super popular with a lot of the people in Hawaii right now. They just, and I've donated a lot of these out that way too, because I want to support that,
yeah.
And this is pretty strong too. It's not thermoform, but it's definitely a really fun paddle. A different manufacturer than we've been messing around with, but similar qualities. So I think you always have to have a backup manufacturer sometimes, just in case.
Right.
And then the thermoform is something that is coming out maybe in a couple months, but this is private stock like the tequila pretty much. So this will be a thermoform version of the Aloha paddle. Doesn't look at that.
Yeah, I like that. The graphics look beautiful on it.
She's blowing up on this. She's up.
I am.
I think I'm in love.
Got the B.
So that's cool because you can give to the bee community as well as the Maui community, right? I mean,
Maui bees. We support Maui bees out there. They actually, their hives actually survived that fire. The fire was coming, and they built a road, kind of a dirt road barrier, so that the fire didn't come over to. So that worked out. You know, their farm was saved. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good news. That's good news. It was tragic. I don't know. I mentioned this in one of the other earlier shows, but I was actually in Maui the day the fire started, and we luckily got out of there the morning that the fires. We were in Kaanapali, and we were supposed to go through Lahaina to get to the airports, and luckily we kind of detoured around and went north and got around it. But I was playing at the public courts in Lahaina, the day before the fire started, so it was something that kind of really hit me harder, I think, than normal, just because I was just there playing there, and those courts are gone. The people that I played with have been devastated. Hopefully they're all safe, but it's just tragic.
Yeah, it didn't touch Greg Laurie's church out there either. He's got a big church there.
Isn't that wild? That
I heard about that.
That's crazy.
So I'm a big fan of Greg Laurie, and I give back a lot, there. I definitely donate towards that church out there, and also the California one. He's got some good stuff. He's the Jesus Revolution, man. It's pretty good. So isn't that how didn't even touch that church?
It was right up to it almost.
Yeah.
So
you kind of mentioned to me, you kind of whispered to me as we were kind of getting ready for, doing this show, that you kind of might have a new partnership. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, or not yet?
Oh yeah, that's, just maybe not.
Maybe not. All right. There's going to be news coming. There's going to be news coming.
Stay tuned. And then you could come back on.
I'm hopeful for it. It would be great, to have a top-seeded women's player out there with our brand.
Well, that wasn't the news that I was talking about. That's actually other news.
Are we going back to Hong Kong Fooey?
My gosh, there's so much news. There's so much to talk about. I was talking about your CBD partnership.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah, so I definitely love to talk about that. So Splish, Splish CBD, huge, big red carpet, for sponsor for a lot of big events out of Colorado. They're the main CBD sponsor for the U.S. Open. They will be again next year as well. Been working really close with those guys for a good, probably a couple of years now. But they have been just, man, they're going to be really big, So I think that what we're doing with those guys is we're collabing on a paddle right now, and we're definitely going to make something happen there. They're pretty big marketing company as well, a lot more marketing than just our brands. So it'd be nice just to be adding the health portion to pickleball. Again, just because people are just orthopedics are getting pretty popular with pickleball right now. You hear it all the time. So, CBD, you're not going to get high, guys. It's a topical, or there's different, sprays and bombs that you can just throw in your bag and go. And, it's really helpful. It helps you a good couple hours, maybe reapply. But yeah, it's a good partnership. And I know Matt's pretty happy about it. He's the owner there, Matt Walsh, from Splish. So yeah, we're stoked on that. I'd love to have him on the podcast too at some point. You guys do a separate podcast with him.
We'd love to.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
He's always promoting. Everyone's trying to do something different, but this guy's got product that really works. Sometimes the CBD market is saturated. So yeah.
Well, tell him I need something for my pickleball elbow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where can people purchase their product? Is it online?
Splish Natural Sport
Splish Natural Sport.
Is their new website. Yep. They went live with stock too. They're getting in some heavy stuff. So but yeah, we got a really super cool paddle collab coming out. It'll probably be in Pickleball magazine, and probably a spread there for 2 pages. So you'll see it. Yeah, we're growing.
Congratulations.
Since the last time we talked, right?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, you have so much going on that when Uncle was hinting at it, you didn't even know which one he was talking about.
Those 5 different secrets you couldn't let out.
It's just got to stop.
And to add to that list, boot camp. You're putting on a pickleball boot camp?
Yeah, I mean, always doing boot camps, and I mean, we're trying to catch up to Mr. Dollard up there. His level up camps just take off like crazy. So why not do some raw boot camps? So got to rein and win and keep going, right? So I'm doing one in Buffalo. I'm doing one. I do one here monthly here in St. Pete. So definitely always traveling with these camps and these beginner to intermediate advanced boot camps to help pickleball players. It's so big with beginners coming in right now that I get calls all the time, with that. So I said, why don't we just start putting some camps together, and then we'll get them duper rated, because everybody's looking for a rating. You hear it all the time. Well, I don't know where I'm at. How do I come into your tournament? So yeah, we'll get them duper rated in these clinics as well, because we have a club that's Rain and Win, our Rain and Win Pickleball Duper Club. So that's been growing as well. So
if people want to find out about the boot camps, your paddles, what's the best way for them to kind of do some research?
Yeah, so it's going to be that Rain and Win Pickleball.com is kind of where we go at for our paddles. And then we have the I Love St. Pete Pickleball Academy .com, which is pretty long, but if you just Google Gregory Storm and St. Pete, you'll find us. We've got almost 100 5-star reviews. So
nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again. It's been such a pleasure to have you back on our show, and I can't praise you enough for the work that you do in the pickleball community. And
thanks so much. You guys are looking great. You guys are look awesome. I don't know. Since the last time I saw you, you're just fit and just
pickleball.
Yeah, right.
Pickleball does for you, right? Keeps you young.
Too many PPA events for you. You might get drafted. Both of you guys might get drafted soon by the MLB. Maybe the Florida Smash or something. I don't know. What do you think?
As long as we can be on Team Rain and Win, we're cool.
Can you sponsor us?
I'll give you paddles. Paddles to play with. I can't pay for your traveling fees. I'm sorry.
Oh, darn it. But thanks a lot, Gregory. Good catching up with you. And we can't wait another 11 months for the next time you come on, because you got so much going on. We got to keep up to speed.
100%. And you guys do well in the PPA event there with the raw Rain and Win paddles.
Oh, we got you. We got you. We got to rep. We got to rep you well. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Thanks, guys.
Who knows what the competition is going to be like, but we'll do our best. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
I saw your grouper. It's high.
All right. Well, please support Gregory and everything he's doing at Rain and Win. Like I said, the things that he's doing to give back to so many different communities is really special in the pickleball community. So I really hope you support him. Go to rainandwinpickleball.com on his website. On Instagram, it's rain_and_win_pickleball. Check them out on Instagram. And please support us by going on to all of our social media. And we promise to have more amazing guests just like Gregory in future episodes. So let's continue to share our enjoyment for the game and grow this pickleball community. See you next time on Third Shot Podcast.